Yes, tonight is going to be the NACL Super Week 8 games coming your way, and we are in the game number 3. We just saw an incredible performance from Cognitive Curse Academy, and then previously, first game of the night was Velocity taking on Team Coast. But here it's going to be vVv. A little bit interesting lineup, but not as crazy as what we've seen them run previously. Taking on TBD, a team that has proven to at least be very dominant recently in the spring promotional qualifiers, qualifying for relegation coming up here in just a few weeks.
Yeah, and we're going to see everybody get out onto the rift here and see where they want to go. Ping's coming in towards that bottom brush as vVv might have an aggressive plan. As the last two games that we've seen so far, it was pretty much just very passive, very ward heavy, and just waiting to see everybody go to lanes. But this time around, vVv maybe going for an early aggressive invade. They have Dazzle, so they could just stun somebody up by themselves. They see ROBERTxLEE mid. Westrice is hanging around in that brush in front of red. They're all grouped up in tri-brush. The only person out there is CheesedBeluga, who is hanging around mid lane. And this is a mirrored start once again, as 3 members of TBD are heading over to vVv's red side. And potentially, this vVv squad could end up running into Westrice here. He is in front of the brush. They're so close, but it looks like everybody will back off.
All right, so like you said, very close. Last game we saw a couple of early flashes blown out very early on. Not going to see anything too aggressive just yet. Both teams just placing some deep wards and then playing passively from there. Only one deep ward at the red buff placed out there by vVv. A couple deep from Bubbadub. And some very early ward coverage. A lot of teams are actually going a little bit lighter on wards now that you have trinkets, so you don't actually have to buy all that many. You can go for some different starting items, maybe a lot more potions, and you can see a lot of them stacked up on to Bubbadub, but no potions other than just a couple of biscuits on to Godshu. CheesedBeluga has a ward out there, but will get scanned away by Bubbadub. TBD looking to invade on this red.
The Dazzle onto Arthelon right now. There's the Undertow that gets reset. Flash Play comes in. 5 members of TBD come in, and Godshu going to be forced to get back here. 5 members of vVv as well. This red buff is really important. Smite comes in from BrokenShard right now. Flay on to 2 members once again. Ghost is forced out from Get Snuggled. There is the Sonic Wave. Resonating Strike. He flashes away, though. Get Snuggled will be forced to run away as well. Undertow connects. PorpoisePops is out of mana, though. A stun onto him. He gets ignited. They're going to chase this one down. Flash comes in from ROBERTxLEE. Flash as well from TBD. And BrokenShard picks up the first blood on PorpoisePops. Steals his red buff away. And now everybody's going to head to the lane. So it looks like it's going to be a 2-1-1. 2 people in top now. And that is going to set PorpoisePops very far behind.
Now, I'm not sure if TBD necessarily planned to have a 2v1 top. I would say yes, because they did have that duo lane stick around for a very long time. You're actually going to see Westrice just doing the blue buff with BrokenShard because he doesn't need to be bottom lane right now. He knows that theoretically he would be going into a 2v1, but does need to be there eventually. As Get Snuggled will have a little bit of an advantage, at least in CS. But 2-4-2 up top. Now Bubbadub and ROBERTxLEE walking forward. They get the level 2 advantage. Devastatus lands on the tails.
Yeah, he doesn't have flash, though. He's going to be forced to barrier here. The cleanse comes out through the stun, and a piercing arrow picks up the kill for ROBERTxLEE. Godshu can't follow this one up. Still too far behind. Flay for Bubbadub is available. Does get the auto attack harass as well as use the passive. So that is going to be a nice kill over to ROBERTxLEE, putting him at 1-0-1 and shutting down Tails from farming any further in this lane.
Keep in mind, ROBERTxLEE isn't running barrier, and as an AD carry, that really kind of hamstrings you a lot because you just straight up don't have as much health. So using that cleanse to cleanse the Taric stun, his Dazzle, really key there from Robert because he's not going to be able to just, Death Sentence all the way under the turret play backwards. Bubbadub!
Hail arrows, too.
I think we need to ask Zanbot if that was Mad Life or not, because Bubbadub threaded right through those minions and grabbed away a second kill there for TBD up in the top lane.
That was a perfect play coming in from Bubbadub there, just on point. Now they're 3-0, currently at 4 minutes. That is a huge kill lead for them, and they have a nice 1.3k gold lead. This early on, that's really, really good.
All right, doesn't get a lot better than that. 3-0 start, gets snuggled. He's gonna have a rough lane phase. He started out, was forced to blow both of his summoners, or at least just the Ghost. Still has that teleport up, so that may be exactly what he needs to be able to stay down in this bottom lane, but Westrice not gonna give him any quarter. Or dimes or nickels, for that matter.
None at all, no change for him. We do see potentially a dive coming in onto Snuggled now. He does not have Ghost available. Sonic Wave connects. Resonating Strike gonna come in. Double buffs available. The slow comes out. Gets Snuggled not long for this ward. Will fall. Oh, Westrice just barely gets out. You saw the Perseverance come in and heal for 20 HP. Sonic Wave, Resonating Strike, auto attacks and red buff. BrokenShard goes in, cleans up the last of that kill, and now they're gonna push on this lane. As actually no, Westrice is gonna go back to base, and BrokenShard will push by himself. PorpoisePops was responding, and a really well coordinated dive from TBD.
Tails and Godshu now with the lane pushing in their favor. Push Bubbadub and Robert back to the turret, but still do not have the advantage. Robert and Bubbadub just now ticking level 4. We'll have a little bit of a level advantage there. Tails almost there, and Godshu will take him a little bit longer to hit that mark. I haven't really paid attention too much to the mid lane. I was talking about it, kind of highlighting it before we got into the game. Now it's CheesedBeluga grabbing away a pickaxe for a lot of early game attack damage. Arthelon starts with that ruby crystal, so he will actually be going for a Rod of Ages, something you don't see a lot of modern day Kassadin's build.
Maybe it's a Sightstone, maybe it's haunting guys. There's a lot of things
guys we have actually seen, so
yeah, could be. Never know. Early magic penetration, a little bit of health helps him out there in trading. But I think this is going to be a Ravenous Hydra for CheesedBeluga. It could be Last Whisper. There's a lot of builds for Kha'Zix where you just go straight armor pen, but just the trading back and forth right now. CheesedBeluga is coming out ahead in that lane as he should. Kha'Zix has a little bit more of a favorable matchup against Kassadin. We do see a gank coming in, forcing the flash out. Undertow gets connected, actually. He picks up the reset, gets the true damage, as well as Ignite's getting traded back and forth there. CheesedBeluga eats a ton of damage from creeps. Oh, almost falls right there. The creeps were just laying into him.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what they were doing, but it was not very fun. CheesedBeluga will now be forced back to base. It seems like he just came back from there, but does not want to take any chances. BrokenShard was kind of marauding around there, but now with Arthelon having survived that gank, and now with BrokenShard at full health, it's going to be up to PorpoisePops with very low mana to clear out the wave here at vVv's middle turret.
Yeah, Snuggle getting poked out. Westrice using that Renekton to great effect. We do see Arthelon getting chunked out as well. Gonna push out the wave, and with BrokenShard they will hold hands and head on back to base. As still, this push coming in from Westrice on to get Snuggle, denying him a lot of farm and Siphoning Strike stacks. He is leveling Siphoning Strike first, so he will be able to sustain a little bit harder off his passive.
Yeah, you actually see a few different changes for Nasus's. If you play him Susans. Yeah.
Yes.
When you're in the jungle, you want to max out your Spirit Fire. You can actually max Spirit Fire in lane 2, but usually if you're in lane Nasus, you just want to farm. So maxing out that Siphoning Strike gives you a lower cooldown, gives you more damage, more lifesteal, more sustain, everything that Nasus really wants. BrokenShard's going to come in here, look for a dive on to get Snuggled. He's only level 5, needs to hit 6, but too far away to do that. It's just pushed right out of lane. It's BrokenShard, and Westrice look to take the bottom turret.
Yeah, so the first turret of the game will go over to TBD. They're just going with the flow, getting the kills, getting the turrets, and securing objectives. I'm wondering where they're going to go for that first dragon of the game, as ROBERTxLEE and Bubbadub have complete control of this top lane as well. You see him just getting those passive stacks and using the piercing arrow to proc them, as well as do a ton of damage to Tails, and force him to stay underneath that turret and farm. But Jinx is not the worst at last hitting underneath turret. Pow helps out a lot, as well as Fishbones.
Tails, he's keeping up there. You know, he's only about 10 CS down, but against an AD carry that's 2 kills ahead of you, and that Vamp Scepter making a big difference there. It's not all that bad. Arthelon now going back in onto CheesedBeluga in the mid lane, just trying to trade that out. Gets isolated away there. CheesedBeluga goes in. Perfect bait is BrokenShard coming in.
Yeah, the flash away will keep CheesedBeluga alive, as well as the ultimate for some stealth. So that gank is thwarted, and they'll be just fine. Up top, though, the turret is getting taken down to below half HP. Few more waves will be able to secure that one. Godshu did come back to lane to help out Tails there. Piercing arrow comes through, but it will be a nice little heal for that one. And that pink ward, not going to live much longer and will fall.
It's interesting to see just regular vision wards taking out sight wards because they're not invisible anymore. So you scout out the pink ward in the brush, and then you just walk up and click on it. So gone are the days of Season 3, rest in peace, invisible sight wards, or vision wards. I keep getting those confused. Mid lane, Arthelon starting to get the upper hand here on his CheesedBeluga, has the level advantage with the bottom lane turret going down. Top lane turret will fall here shortly as BrokenShard comes in, but he's waiting around for the counter gank. He will see PorpoisePops coming in. There's the Lantern.
The Chain of Corruption connects as well onto Tails. The Destinance is dodged. The box is popped, though. Godshu coming in, as well as PorpoisePops popping the Ragnarok, just walking through the walls. The Super Mega Death Rocket just dodges away Bubbadub strafing to the side there, and that is going to be the end of that fight. Unless BrokenShard connects, and gonna look for the resonating strike. No, decides not to, and that is going to be a lot of ults down as well from both sides, as we do still have BrokenShard sitting in that brush. He gets pinged out there. Ward did just fade. Sonic Wave connects, but they will back on out, so no Lucian mechanics coming in with the Dragon's Rage.
And now vVv are going to give up this turret or give up their lives as Arthelon tries to stop them. He just walks right into Godshu. There's going to be an axe to come down. Godshu down to half health. Arthelon very low on mana, but does have a blue buff. BrokenShard unable to connect with the Sonic Wave.
Yeah, and speaking of being able to connect, since he's in the US, he doesn't have to worry about EU-West ping or anything like that. So Westrice is rotating towards the mid lane. He is going to push down this tier 1 in the mid lane. With PorpoisePops responding, he will be able to clear out with Undertow and stuff. That turret up top will fall, so 2 turret advantage to none over vVv right now. TPD just looking really strong.
And in the mid lane, or in the bottom lane rather, the thing that's also really strong, without a turret, Get Snuggled is just free to sit down there and start farming up those siphoning strike stacks. He's at 69 right now, which may be helpful in other ways, but isn't for damage. There is not very high at all. Get Snuggled trying to go over there and help out PorpoisePops, taking out a dragon. PorpoisePops will die to that if he doesn't get some health, so almost like a jungle Nasus would, Get Snuggled is just going to come in, throw down Fury of the Sands. First dragon of the game goes to vVv at 11 minutes.
Alright, so they get something at least, but that objective does respawn, so we will see if TPD want to rotate for that one when it does come back up. CheesedBeluga is falling a little bit behind Arthelon. The roaming he's been able to do, as well as the pressure he put up top helps him get the turret. We do see the Sivir come out. A ward jump comes in from BrokenShard, but cannot follow up a little too far away. That leap kept CheesedBeluga safe. The silence gonna go in right now. Ignite gets dropped, and the Sonic Wave for the kill as CheesedBeluga kind of playing that one a little too aggressive. Tails up top. Gonna get initiated on here by Dominus and Ignite. Westrice gonna drop a pink ward as well to get some extra vision. Flashes in, Call the Meek, and an auto attack as well as the passive from the Dominus will pick up the kill as he will be able to 2v1 them successfully.
Yeah, that was the ending to vVv's tail there in the top lane as he will go down. It's the 6th kill in a row. TBD, flawless victory so far. 6-0, 3-0 in turrets. Now ROBERTxLEE takes some damage, traces it right back onto PorpoisePops. That's actually the ultimate going in.
Alright, Sonic Wave for the kill from BrokenShard through the ultimate of the Ragnarok. And now the 4-man group from TBD gonna look to push this turret down very effectively and efficiently as it will fall. It's the 4th turret of the game. The Super Mega Death Rocket connects, but they shrug it off and just back on out after a nice little objective.
BrokenShard really coming up huge there, getting the snipe with a Sonic Wave. Will grab himself the 7th kill of the game for TBD, and now 4 turrets under their tail. Now Tails, no bottom lane, not gonna go anywhere. It's kicked back, played away absolutely everywhere. Arthelon in danger, but not really. Flash out from ROBERTxLEE from CheesedBeluga, so nice job for CheesedBeluga blowing that, but Robert stays alive. Tails does not.
Yeah, this game is kind of looking like a one-sided stomp right now. 4 turrets to none. They have a complete map pressure, except for that one dragon. They have 8 kills currently. Bloodthirster has been completed for ROBERTxLEE, sitting on a little bit of extra gold, so maybe going for that sniper build from the Last Whisper, or just going to try to build some of that Curved Static Shiv or PD. 5-0 on TBD's BrokenShard, on BrokenShard's jungle Lucian. He's got the Sight Stone. He can make the Dragon Rage kicks happen at any point. And just really strong, especially Arthelon. He's 0-0-3, and when a Cassidy stays neutral, that's a really dangerous point. You see him going in on to CheesedBeluga right now. He's got the Rod of Ages. He's got a ton of health. He doesn't care too much. And
I love that CheesedBeluga. He turns around, tries to deal damage, realizes that he doesn't, and it's like, all right, bad idea. Leaps away. So he's going to be defending this turret with Godshu and Tails. Tails 0-3 to a 2-0 ROBERTxLEE. And going into this game, we talked about the significance of those 80 carries in the bottom lane and how it was going to not necessarily be the matchup that decided the game, but it's actually turning out that way as Tails very, very far behind. Doesn't quite have that Bloodthirster. Still waiting to grab that out, whereas ROBERTxLEE will be continuing to stack that up. So being the first to Bloodthirster is a really big difference because you're stacking it while the other guy is not only not stacking it, but doesn't even have it just yet. So Robert, especially not going for that sniper build, the Legolas build with the Last Whisper, is building off towards that Phantom Dancer. Now Westrice taking down 2 turrets top lane, gets snuggled. cannot get a break there. He's lost, I think, 3 turrets in lanes he's been in so far.
Yeah, so they're not letting him get any of the farm that he needs. I'm going to actually look at some of the siphoning strike stacks that he has. Currently, he's sitting at 102 at 15 minutes right now. That is not looking good for him.
Yeah, siphoning strikes, it's something that you'll get eventually very high, but keep in mind that you're still dealing physical damage, and as the game progresses, people are going to start building armor, which means that even though you may get more stacks, you're really not going to be dealing all that much more damage, as people are going to be able to mitigate that a lot more. So, unless you were willing to pick up some armor penetration, probably do want to get out ahead of those stacks, because if you do fall behind, it really does limit that. Westrice has a Tiamat into Ravenous Hydra. No Ravenous Hydra just yet for CheesedBeluga. He will be building up some similar itemization.
Yeah, so that's going to let him split push very efficiently, as well as pretty much he can solo almost anybody on the side of vVv right now. He has so much sustained damage output from that, so I don't know how vVv is going to deal with him alone. He can just split push all day.
Yeah, and Westrice, he's always been known for a great split pusher for a long time. He did it on things like Zed or Kha'Zix or a lot of stuff like that, but for the most part now he actually does play a little bit more tanky. He champions, goes for a lot of Shen, a lot of Renekton, so has kind of cured himself of that 30-minute Westrice throw that we all used to know when he played Assassins. So for right now, he's actually completely turned things around, brought out a Kali a couple of times. It's really awesome to see this guy really gelling into this role for TBD just in time for relegations coming up.
Yep, and TBD looking strong for that. We do see the arrow coming through, not going to allow PorpoisePops to go back. No Sivir onto Godshu there. Descendants connects onto PorpoisePops. They're going to get the, CheesedBeluga, they get the leap in as well as the flay into the box. He flashes away, but it's not enough. BrokenShard will flash forward, get it with a Tempest. He is dominating 6-0 right now. Riftwalk into the Lantern for a little style for Arthelon, I guess, right now, just showing off what he can do. Gets snuggled, gonna run into Westrice right here, he just gets chunked away. Not something he wants to do really too well, but the turret can be the focus here. He pops the Fear of the Sands to help him stay alive and kill that wave, I guess. But it does keep Westrice off the turret for a little bit, but that's a huge cooldown the blow. Westrice can sustain through most of this. The tier 2 in the middle lane does fall. And are they going to back off is the question. They jump in on the tails, a flay backwards, goes in. There's no box available, but they catch Bubbadub out. The Super Mega Death Rocket gets blocked by Arthelon here. Westrice popping the ultimate, goes in, flashes, stuns. ROBERTxLEE picks up the kill onto Godshu. That is going to be a killing spree for him, but they do trade Westrice for this one. Gets snuggled, gets taken out by Bubbadub, and Arthelon goes in with the Riftwalk and flashes back out after doing that on the tails. Is he going to look for the kill on the tails? Is he going to Riftwalk him? Looks like no.
Tails just barely able to lifesteal that back up. Had a health potion running too, so wasn't too afraid there. Undertows, about the only champion that can run away from Undertows is Arthelon. Gonna go ahead and protect his feet from those Undertows and continue to walk away to safety. Dragon going down to TBD. I believe that is their first Dragon of the game, so I think now tied with vVv in that respect.
Yeah, and let's see, items coming through here. Nothing too big just yet. Arthelon has to be sitting on quite a bit of gold. He hasn't shopped since that Rod of Ages. 1850, so could be going for needless a large rod or anything like that. We do see ROBERTxLEE currently sitting on 2100, so could be PD, could be Shiv, could just go for a Last Whisper if he does farm up about 200 extra gold, but does get the red buff, go back to base, and finish off Static Shiv, and then maybe a pickaxe or something like that. We'll see. Yeah, pickaxe. There we go.
All right, there we go. All right, so Brutalizer is going to be the next build or next item built for CheesedBeluga. He's 1 and 2, so not exactly shut down. But then again, neither is Arthelon. At 005, he's been contributing a lot to the rest of his team, which, to be honest, is just ROBERTxLEE and BrokenShard, as they have the majority, 9 out of 11 kills for TBD.
Oh, Arthelon trying to steal away that blue buff. But CheesedBeluga did end up getting it.
Yeah, he has his leap evolved. So he evolved his leap first, which means he doesn't get the extra burst damage from evolving Taste Their Fears. So really needs to hit that level 11 to get that combo rolling as far as evolutions are concerned. Arthelon, there's a question asked earlier, is he maxing Force Pulse? The answer is no. He's actually split maxing Null Sphere and Force Pulse evenly. If you want more damage, then you actually will max Kassadin's E, but maxing the Q extends the silence duration. Is just really good utility and poke last hitting option that a lot of people used to do before a few of the Cassidy nerfs came through.
Yeah, those Cassidy nerfs, I kind of feel like we don't even see them come into effect, because Cassidy is kind of, even if they're behind, just seem to, if they win that one fight, they pick up a kill or two, and then it's just like, they're off, they're set, they're good. They're like, oh, hey, wait, I got 1 kill, I got 2 kills, I've been down 0-7 the entire game, I'm coming back into the game now. And then just starts one-shotting the AD carry, and it's just all downhill from there. But now Baron, from 4 members of TBD with Arthelon still in the bot lane, he's going back to base. They're going to back off, they're going to play it safe, and hopefully not throw from here. We do see the Undertow connect on a Westrice. He gets the stun, but he slices, and he dices towards the Lantern, and like, nice mobility. Nice show, Westrice. Golf clap.
Yes, such mobile, very slice, much dice. Westrice stays alive. We'll be able to just one-shot that minion wave. Minions don't actually exist against Westrice right now. You can just clear those waves so effectively that it's going to be really hard for vVv to get the vision they need off the map to keep their lanes pushing out. You can see bottom, mid, and top as well. Every lane pushing in their TBD. Looking for the engage as BrokenShard hits the Sonic Wave. No Resonating Strike to follow, and now TBD, they've shoved the vVv off of the Baron. Gonna drop it down, dropping very quickly down to half health.
Alright, so the Baron, as you said, at half health right now. Bubbadub looking for somebody. Undertow comes over the wall. Arthelon is looking for anybody he can to maybe blow up. There's a flash in from PorpoisePops, and it's going to be the smite from BrokenShard to pick up the kill. They blow up PorpoisePops instantly as soon as he comes in. Death Sentence over the wall, picks it up. That's going to be 1 kill. The Lantern for ROBERTxLEE does not go over the wall, so he's stuck in the pit. That is one sad Roberto, and he's forced a flash over the wall instead. Arthelon hunting out Tails right now. Goes over the pit, and Tails flashes forward, and Arthelon's like, wait, what? The ward over the wall, and Tails is actually going to run it into BrokenShard. He's going to get caught out, and he is going to fall. Tempest cripple to slow. Flame Choppers come out. Going to look for Sonic Wave Resonating Strike, possibly. They're running around in circles right now, playing a little game of Ring the Rosie. And it's going to be the Dragon's Rage for the kill, and Tails will fall.
Yeah, Brutalizer, a little bit of a unique pickup there for BrokenShard. He's not building full tank, grabs some damage. You can really see that damage pay off as Tails does not like what he sees there. Gets kicked in the back of the head by his brother's Lee Sin, and now BrokenShard continuing to push through that bottom lane along with ROBERTxLEE. Westrice joined by the rest of TBD, 5 men strong, will look to take the first inhibitor of the game.
At 22 minutes, very fast inhibitor coming in from them. Arthelon does a ton of damage. Death Sentence comes in as well, and wow, BrokenShard is legendary around right now. 9-0. Picks up his 9th kill of the game right there. Godshu goes down, and it's just a matter of time until they rotate to the other lanes. PorpoisePops gets initiated on here. Tempest cripple combination Flay as well. The Flays have been on point from Bubbadub. Westrice picks it up with the Call of the Meek and auto attacks as ROBERTxLEE does rotate towards top lane, and the second inhibitor could be in that top lane to go down.
Yeah, nice escape there as Arthelon and Bubbadub push down top. Bottom is actually pushing in favor of vVv, so they won't have to worry about that just yet. What they do have to worry about is this impending push. Cannon minion wave going to be very resilient against this turret. Minus armor from Get Snugglez. Spirit Fire will clear out the wave and help it die a little bit more quickly. Super Mega Death Rocket chunking out Robert, though.
Just quite a bit of damage there. I'm surprised, and it'll force him to be a little bit more passive. ROBERTxLEE does have to sustain off of the golems there. He'll heal up, but it looks like TBD want to go back to base, pick up some items, and continue the push either in the top or bot lane.
So, for right now, we're at that point in the game, 23 minutes in. Feels like 30 minutes in for TBD as they have some incredible items starting to stack up there. You're going to see a Black Cleaver completed there for BrokenShard, so he decided he needed a little bit more itemization. And to be honest, it's actually going to help the rest of his team too, shredding away that armor. Works for Renekton, works for ROBERTxLEE, and to a lesser extent for Bubbadub, as he's going to get in there with a few auto attacks for himself. I'm just kidding, it doesn't really work that way. It's Rod of Ages first. We talked about that being different than the Tear of the Goddess that a lot of Kassadin's build.
Bubbadub is a PF sword.
Okay, Bubbadub. See, that's what I was talking about. The armor.
Oh, he's looking for the kill. Huh? Almost.
So close. Such BF sword. Arthelon still picked up his 2nd kill of the game. So actually, before that, he was tied with Bubbadub. Death Sentence. Not going to land on a Godshu.
Yep, and Arthelon just going over the wall, not caring, taking the Lantern right back on out. Tails gets caught out there, but no Resonating Strike to follow it up. And vVv still holding on. There aren't the empowered minions in the side lanes. It's just in the mid lane. We do see Westrice split pushing away. CheesedBeluga really just kind of scratching Westrice's back a little bit there. He's ignoring him, not caring too much. Pops the ultimate, trying to get some of that passive damage in there, but Westrice does not care. He is sustaining back up just fine.
Wave cleared out by CheesedBeluga. Does have that Bloodthirst, or not the Bloodthirst, the Brutalizer. But not a whole lot more than just that in the Tiamat. You can see actually forewent, or if that's the passive form of Ravenous Hydra. Oh my goodness, is the engaged cleanse out there, but another box wall hit by Robert. Running away from the Undertow, gets hit, stays alive,
wow.
And it's going to be PorpoisePops. It's exploding on the chase.
Gets Snugglez, gonna be their next target right now as ROBERTxLEE focusing him down, gets him double kill for that one. It's gonna be Arthelon taking out CheesedBeluga next. Godshu's gonna be the target. A nice war jump into flash into kick. Takes down Godshu, puts him at legendary. That is GG getting called out there from the side of vVv. Surrender vote gets passed, and that is gonna be 23-1 in favor of TBD over vVv here at the NACL. That was a pretty dominant showing from TBD.
So close to being a perfect game, but
who was that? Westrice?
Scumbag Westrice with the one death. I don't know if that's a reportable offense, but either way, TBD with the victory over vVv, and close for a little bit, but that little bit was about a couple minutes, as starting off the game 3-0, and then just snowballing their lead to victory. 10-0-6, the performance from BrokenShard, and of course ROBERTxLEE 6-0-10. Nice score there for him as well. So that's going to do it. Third game in the record books here at NACL Super Week. TBD take the victory over vVv. That's going to do it, like I said, for our third